Welcome to the Unit 6 test review. All right, what number must you multiply each side of the equation 3/5 y equals 9 to produce the equivalent equation y equals 15? Well, if we notice here, this equation is solved. So the best strategy is to solve the equation. All right, right now we have 3/5 multiplied by y. To undo that, we will do the opposite and multiply it by its reciprocal. And if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other side. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We have a single y. 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Y is equal to 15. What do we need to multiply it by? 5/3. To solve this equation, we have a combination of a variable term and a constant. To isolate the variable, let's first get rid of the constant. Currently, it's being subtracted from one side, so let's add it to undo that. 35 plus 5 is equal to 40. We still have our 2x. 5 minus 5 is 0. So we have 40 is equal to 2x, but we want to know what a single x is. Currently, x is being multiplied by 2. To undo that, we will do the opposite and divide by 2. When we do so, we have to do it to both sides. X is equal to 20. We can check that by plugging 20 into right there. And get in the habit of checking all of your work. I will do it with this one right here just to show you, but do it with all of your work. You don't need the computer to tell you whether you got it right or wrong. You can find out yourself. 35. 40 minus 5 is 35. Yes, we did do it correctly. All right. Sometimes we will have a combination of multiple variables. We'll need to combine them together to be able to isolate them first. So we have an x and a negative 8x. When we combine those together, we get negative 7x. We still have our constant. In order to isolate the variable, first let's get rid of that constant by subtracting 5 from both sides. 5 minus 5 just leaves us with our variable term. 54 minus 5 gives us 49. Currently, we are multiplying negative 7 by x. In order to undo that, we will divide. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 gives us 1. 49 divided by negative 7 gives us negative 7. Sometimes we will need to distribute. Remember, that means multiplying the term outside of the parentheses by each member inside of the parentheses. So we will get 6 times 4. Remember, subtraction is the same thing as addition of the opposite. Always do that when you're tackling things with subtraction in it. It makes it much more less likely to make a mistake with negatives. All right, so now we've got 6 multiplied by a negative r. Plus 6r is equal to 24. 6 times 4 is 24. We've got negative 6r plus 6r is equal to 24. If we combine our variables, we end up with 0r. And 24 is equal to 24. That means there is no solution. Last one. We will distribute our 4. We get 4b. Again, make sure we subtract. Change the subtract to addition of the opposite. Plus 5b is equal to negative 48. 4b plus a negative 12 plus 5b equal to negative 48. 4b plus 5b is equal to 9b. We will need to add 12 to both sides. We're left with 9b is equal to negative 36. We'll need to divide by 9 because currently we are being multiplied by 9. When we do so, we get negative 36 divided by 9 is equal to negative 4. My cursor go too far. All right. Please get used to translating. Essentially, that's what word problems are. It's translating English words into math. I like the strategy of looking for the is. We've got the right-hand side of the equation done already. Is equal to equals, negative 68, negative 68. We're great there. All right, it's kind of nice because they already gave us the negative 8. We know we are multiplying negative 8 by what? A number. So that's some kind of a variable. Plus is a plus. 4 is a 4. There we go. We have negative 8x plus 4 is equal to negative 68. We've successfully written the equation. Now we'll need to solve. First strategy, let's subtract 4 from both sides to get our constants together. 4 minus 4 gives us 0. Negative 68 and negative 4 gives us negative 72. Divide both sides by negative 8 to isolate our x. We have a negative divided by a negative. That will give us a positive answer. 72 divided by 8 is equal to 9. X is equal to positive 9. The last skill necessary for your computer scored test is to be able to solve formulas for a different variable. In this case, m. Right now, this equation right here, formula, is solved for t. We want to solve for m. How will we do that? Same principles. We want to isolate m all by itself. Currently it's being added to this, so let's subtract 3n from both sides. T minus 3n is now equal to 3m. To get m all by itself, we will need to divide by 3. Now notice what I did here. We have to divide everything on the other side by 3. You can choose to express it this way with a big old fraction mark, or you could go capital T divided by 3 minus 3n divided by 3. Those are equivalent statements, and you can't. Either one would be correct. Just know that the computer will probably recognize this one, but these are multiple choice, so you should be okay there. The last one, we are again solving for m. Currently, it is being solved for w. Similar strategy. Right now, m is hanging out with k and 1/3. If we want to get rid of that fraction, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So 3 over 1. 1/3 multiplied by 3 over 1, those all cancel, and we get 3w is equal to mk. Now to further isolate and get m all by itself, we need to divide by k. 3w divided by k is equal to m. Last up, I lied. I thought that was the last slide for part 1. Be able to solve absolute value equations. Let's start with this one right here. Similar in that we want to get our variable all by itself. The absolute value of e is equal to 81 divided by 9, or 9. So now we have to think, what number can we put within absolute value bars that will equal 9? If we put in -9 inside those absolute value bars, will it equal 9? Yes, it will. If we put in +9, will it? Yes. So the absolute value of E is equal to plus or -9. Now up here, first strategy is to get our absolute value by itself. 31, -31/3. Is there anything that we could put inside absolute value bars that will equal a negative? No, this is impossible. No solution. All right. Part 2 test. You will have 2 questions. Make sure you answer them both. You'll need to be able to write an equation based on a word statement and then solve it. So, -3 times some number plus 19 is equal to -113. We'll want to get x by itself, so we'll subtract 19 from both sides. -113 and -119 is equal to -132. Divide both sides by -3 to isolate x, and we get, remember, a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive answer. X is equal to 44. You are supposed to check your answer for full points, so make sure that you include that step by plugging x back into your original statement. Oops, got it to move there. Anyway, last question. Write an equation based on the given facts and find the solution. So the perimeter of a rectangular photo is 64 centimeters. P is equal to 64. The length is 3 times the width. The length is 3 times the width. What are the length and width? They give us a formula to work with. Let's use it, plugging in what we know to solve. We know that P is equal to 64. So I'm going to insert P equals 64 right there. We know that the length is equal to 3W. So instead of writing length right there, I'm going to write 3W. 64 is equal to 2W plus 2 times 3 is 6W. 64 is equal to 2W plus 6W is 8W. If we divide both sides by 8, we get W is equal to 8. If the W is equal to 8, the length is going to be equal to 24 by plugging it back into there. All right, I've worked through a similar problem to everything that you will see on the Unit 6 exam. If you have any questions, please come to Live Help, send me an email. And again, I worked through these quite quickly, so feel free to pause, go back and rewind whatever you need to be able to be prepared for this exam. One last thing to get you on your